So this is number 5. It says find the limit as x approaches 6 from the left side of tangent pi x divided by 4. And we need to know if that number approaches minus infinity or plus infinity. Now, I'm not sure. On my machine, I see the graph given to us. I don't know if the graph was given to you on that one. No? Okay. So, if you look at the tangent, which is what? Sine over cosine. You can actually expect or predict what the graph looks like. But if you don't want to graph it and see what it looks like, because the graph looks like this for a tangent, if you ever looked at it. And you can figure what these numbers are, where the cosine is 0, you know? That's what cosine pi x over 4 equals to 0. You can find what these values are and look at it. But if you don't want to do it that way, you say, I don't want to graph it. I could care less about the graph. And you have a calculator in your hand. You can actually just pick some numbers. You're approaching 6 from the left side. You're not a 6. So pick a value for x. And that'll be like no-brainer. Just use the calculator. So let me use what's 6 from the left side. Is 5.9 close to 6? Let's try 5.99, and that'll give us an idea, and maybe another one. So if you don't want to graph it, that's one way of doing it. When x is 5.9, plug it in. I'm not using 6, it's approaching the 6. So pi, where's pi on this one? Where are you? Pi. I'm sure it's, right there. Right, big key in the middle. So tangent pi times 5.9 divided by 4. My calculator says pi x, is it? Yeah, pi x over 4. If I did it right, my calculator said 0.08. Is that what you got? Let's try the next one, 5.99. Tangent pi. Oh, you know what? That's probably why the answer is wrong. Make sure first you're in radian mode, not degree. How do we get that mode change here? Make sure you're not in degree mode. On this calculator, where's what mode I'm in? Mode, degree, radian. How do we change it? Oh, here we go. Radian. You have to, when you do this pi, you got to be in radian mode. Let's try this one. Pi times 5.9 divided by 4. Or 12.7. Let's try the 5.99. Tangent pi times 5.99 divided by 4. Close the parentheses. 127.3. Should I continue? Next one. Tangent. You probably can see where we're going. Pi times 5.999 divided by 4. Close parentheses. And it says 1273.2. Where do you see that number going toward? Positive infinity. So from the left side, that approaches infinity. From the right side, because they ask you both questions, I'll do a couple of values. You'll probably see it quickly. 6.1 and 6.001. I'll just do two of them. tangent pi times 6.1 divided by 4, negative 12.7. And the next number, tangent pi times 6.001 divided by 4, and it's negative 1273.2. Where is it going toward? Negative infinity. So the answer for part A is infinity. The answer for part B is negative infinity. If you graphed it, you will find out actually that 6 will be somewhere here. That's the 6, right there. So from the left side is plus infinity, from the right side is negative infinity. If you don't know the graph, no big deal. You don't even have to know the graph for it. So that was 5. Number 7. Let me find it here. Find the vertical asymptotes. If any, graph the function. If the answer does not exist, write D and E. G sub t equals t minus 9 over t squared plus 81. We're looking for the vertical asymptotes. That's what the question. Asymptote or asymptotes. It could be more than one. If any. Sometimes you don't have any. It says if there's none, just write D and E. Well, the vertical asymptote is what? How do you find them?
The domain.
Yep, the domain equals to what?
0.
0. So take your domain and set it equal to 0. What value makes the bottom 0? That makes the fraction undefined. Now, if you take the 81 to that side, what do you have? Negative 81. How can something squared be a negative number? So there's no real solution. There's an imaginary solution, but we don't deal with that here. So we do not have any vertical asymptotes. So our answer is what? Does not exist.
You can't factor out.
Negative 81.
No, equation.
Here?
Top one. T plus.
Can't factor the plus sign. Try to factor t minus 8, t plus, t minus, it has to be a minus here. If that was a minus, we have a removable one at t minus 9. We have one at t plus 9.
That's what I was
Yep.
thinking.
So that was number 7, D and E. Next one is 11. Number 11. Find the number 11. Yep, find the vertical asymptotes, if any. So here's the function. F of z equals the natural log of z squared minus 81. Find f of z. The vertical asymptotes, if any. And if there's more than one, you're going to find them both. Now, let's go back to the properties of the log or the natural log. One of them, you can't take the log of what? 0 or what? Yep. You can't take the ln, since we don't have the ln here, of 0 or a negative number. And if we looked at the, not this one, but if we looked at the graph of the log from before, the graph looked like this. Remember that? The log function? I'm not looking at the graph of this, just going back to the log when we covered it. That was 1 comma 0. So you can see there's a vertical asymptote, that's this line, which is at x approaches the 0 from the right side. Now, here, because this is z squared minus 81, I need to find out when is z squared minus 81 is going to be greater than 0. Because we said you can't take the log of a negative number or 0. So I need that to be bigger than 0. That means z squared has to be bigger than what? 81. Well, to be bigger than 81, z itself has to be what? Bigger than, what's the square root of 81? 9, and less than what? Negative 9. So if I graph that, instead of the graph looking like this now, it's going to be shifted. This is the 9 here. And I have 1 somewhere here. And my graph should look like this and should look like this. So I have two vertical asymptotes, one at negative 9 and one at plus 9. Two of them. So they ask you for both values. The smaller value is negative 9 and the larger value is plus 9 for that one.
How would you went to that end? Because I had that same problem, except it was at 16.
That'll be minus 4 and 4.
Doing x, I tried doing minus 4, it was wrong. X equals minus 4.
Yeah. Sure it does.
I don't know how to,
Yep.
no, it won't take it. I don't know how to enter that in.
There we go. Did you write x equals negative, z here? Z.
It has to be Z.
You have to write z equals negative 9. Because that's the equation. Z, not just negative 9. You have to write, if you have using x, it was use x or z.
I think I tried x. I think it said you can use n or something too.
Whatever that letter, it has to be, whatever letter we're using has to be that letter there. So if you're using z here, you have to say z, but you cannot write it. You can't just write minus 9. You got to say z equals negative 9, because that's the vertical asymptote. Notice I'm using actually z, not x here. I forgot I'm using z here. So I got to write this equation, z equals negative 9 and z equals 9. And I bet you if you write them like this, z equals negative 9 in the smaller one and z equals 9 in the other one, you get the right answer. Of course it did work. She's quiet there, I know it worked.
Yeah.
It's bugging her like, damn it.
But don't make it a capital T, because
I don't know. I don't know. Is that a small? Yep. I don't know if it makes a difference with
it
them.
does. You can't do it- you can't do
Yeah,
it
you gotta match the letters. Yeah, you forget these things. You gotta pay attention to them. Z, but you can't just write minus 9 and the other one 9. It has to be an equation. A vertical asymptote is an equation, a line that goes up and down. So minus 9 doesn't tell me anything. It tells me so it has to be z equals minus 9, z equals to 9. That was 11. I mean 7, I'm sorry. 11. Is that 11? Yep. 11 is done, yep. Number 19 now.
I think I did it right, I just want to be sure.
The limit minus 9, because I see a red 9 here, over sine of x as x approaches 0 from the plus side. And they want to know, is it plus infinity or minus infinity or it does not exist? Find the limit. And really for a problem like this, probably the quickest way, pick points. Because 3 points will be enough, you'll see it quickly. They're talking about one side only, so it's more than 0. 0.1, 0.01, and 0.001. 9 divided by sine, make sure you're in radian mode, 0.1, and I got 90. The next number is going to tell us what the answer without having to do a lot of work. The next number, 9 divided by sine what? 0.01. 900, what do you think it's going toward? I don't even have to do the next number. Positive infinity. But if you want to do the next number, 9 divided by sine 0.001. And that's 90,000 or 9,000, I think. Too late to refocus. So that's going toward what? Infinity. That's it. Any other questions from section 5 while I'm at it?